Robert McKee, who is the legendary Hollywood screenwriter, puts it brilliantly, much better than I can. He says, a rule says you must do it this way, a principle says this works and has for all remembered time, and the difference is crucial. And if I can paraphrase what he goes on to say, anxious, inexperienced traders obey rules, artists master the form. You see, trading is more art than science. You can't apply rigid rules. If that worked, we'd all set up automatic trading programs. Everything would be automated, and the market would just stop working because nobody would have an edge anymore. So instead, you've got to learn the principles of what makes prices move, understand the humans what are making the decisions, understand the emotions and responses to prices on a screen, and have a set of guiding principles to lead you in your trading decisions in any given circumstances. So understanding principles and being able to apply them in any situation is far, far more valuable than just blindly following a set of rules. And that's why Simon the Computer Man failed. He spent all his working life at IBM following rules, but as soon as you put him in front of a chart, he just carries on applying those rules. On the other end, you got the vet, who was just basically a slave to her emotions. She was completely controlled by her fear. The worst thing is that she knew it. We saw that her screen was all covered in post-it notes telling her things like you can't win if you're not trading, and just pull the trigger and all that kind of thing. And yet, even though she knew what she was meant to be doing, for whatever reason, she just couldn't bring herself to do it. Her education, her privileged background, and her apparent intelligence were just completely worthless to her. So that was the losers, and then we had the winners, and by far the most successful trader so far is the single mum, Caroline, the entrepreneur. Now, her experience in setting up her own business and overcoming all the obstacles and hurdles and difficulties what come with doing that, and not to mention the difficulties, no doubt, of being a single mother of twins, all that prepared her quite nicely for the trading floor. So while all those around her were either jumping up and down with joy at having made a minor profit or crying into their cup of coffee after making a loss, Caroline the entrepreneur was just calmly watching her charts, and she was emotionally detached from the market. With quite ruthless precision, we saw her cutting her losing trades, as I can imagine she might fire underperforming employees in her company. And the winners, she greeted them with the same complete lack of emotion, really, as her losers. At one point, Lex Van Dam called her into his office to congratulate her because he said that she was the best trader on the floor. And her response was, and this is brilliant, she said, "I'm only the best at this point. All my trades could turn around against me this afternoon and then I'll be the worst." And as Lex replied, quite rightly so, "That's why you're the best, because you understand that." The soldier has been doing pretty well as well. His training has obviously prepared him to examine situations, think through possible options, and then choose his actions carefully based on a set of guiding principles. It's that principles thing again. I've no doubt that strength of character and ability to keep emotions under control and in check, that probably come with battleground experience and everything that goes with being a soldier, all of that is obviously an asset to him on the trading floor as well. Now, I'm not saying that only hardened ex-army types or successful entrepreneurs are ever going to make it as traders. What I am saying is that most people fail to recognise how important personality and emotional control and even a bit of flexibility are when it comes to the markets. And if you can go into the game knowing the challenges what lie ahead, then obviously you've got a much higher chance of success. There are lots of different ways of tackling those challenges. Some of them I've spoken about before, and I'm sure it's a subject what I'll continue to discuss in the future, because it's where the real difference between winners and losers is made, and it's just so important. So there's one more show next week, and from what I understand, from having had a look in the TV magazine, only 3 of the traders actually make it to the end of the 8-week experiment. Maybe Cleo the vet will make a comeback, but I'm not counting on that. So let me just summarise the 2 lessons what $1 Million Traders, this program, have so beautifully crystallised, really, and made so clear on screen. And the first one of those is that success in trading has very little to do with intelligence or education, and really it's got everything to do with character, and more specifically strength of character. Those folks what can control their emotions rather than be controlled by their emotions are much more likely to succeed in trading. And the second lesson is that learning to trade is much more about learning principles and not rules. Understanding principles will let you make money in any market and in any kind of conditions. Rules might make a little bit of money for a little bit of time, but as long as there are humans in the market, rules are never ever going to produce fixed, predictable results every time. If you're looking for fixed, predictable results, then you're probably better off putting your money in the bank. Although on second thoughts, maybe with what's been going on recently, that might not be such a good idea. Alright, have another video for you soon, no doubt, and until then, good trading.